Hey everybody, today I have a fragrance review to share with you guys. It's a new fragrance I got in the mail yesterday, and it's Majestic Woods by Juicy Couture. And I looked around before I ordered this fragrance and I didn't see a whole lot of reviews about it, so I'm going to go ahead and add my review to the internet. And hopefully you guys that are interested in this fragrance, have heard about it or want to learn more about it, can get a little bit better of an idea of what it's about. It is considered a woody oriental fragrance in the wood/amber category. It only has 5 notes, okay? And those notes are praline, tonka bean, wood, amber, and ambroxan. So definitely a woody oriental fragrance. Now, it was released as a women's fragrance, but my opinion, it is absolutely, completely unisex. And the reason why is when you normally think of Juicy Couture, you think of fragrances that are fruity, that are flowery, that are sweet, have candy notes, have, succulent berry notes, have bright, light citrus and pear notes, have floral notes. And this doesn't have any of that. This doesn't have a single floral note, doesn't have a single fruit note. And as for the praline note, it's not like a very sweet caramel sauce, kind of a gourmand note. It's kind of like got that burnt sugar sweetness to it. So to me, it doesn't have anything that I would normally associate with Juicy Couture. As far as the smell, to me, definitely, ambery, woody, little bit of spicy, a little bit of vanilla-ish kind of, little bit of almost a pipe tobacco smell. The praline note gives it that kind of a little bit of a burnt sugar sweetness. The tonka bean note gives it that vanilla pipe tobacco, a little bit of spiciness kind of a note. The wood is kind of a sharp, not really a sharp, but it's not a soft powdery sandalwood. It's more of a slightly pungent, deep, heavy, like an oud wood or an agar wood. So it's definitely got a prominent wood note. And the amber is, your typical resinous, sweet, warm amber note. And then the ambroxan is kind of an odd note, and it almost gives it a little bit of a musky or a dryness to it. Ambroxan is really hard for me to describe. To me, it comes across as a little bit musky. So I don't really know, resinous and musky, so I don't really know what to say other than that. So overall impressions of the fragrance, it is what you'd expect from a woody oriental. It's warm, woody, resinous, kind of incensey, a bit sweet, tiny bit spicy. It's got that little bit of almost a tobacco note to it. All things dark, mysterious, and so on and so forth that you expect from the oriental woody genre of fragrances. Staying power, moderate. I sprayed it when I first got it yesterday around 2:30 in the afternoon. When I went to bed at around 11:30, I could still smell the faintest remnants of the wood and amber on my skin. As far as projection, not a room filler, but definitely when it's first applied, it's not a skin scent. You don't have to get right up on it to smell it. When I first got it, I gave myself 4 really good sprays, each wrist and each side of my throat. And when my husband came home from work later that day, he could smell it when he walked in the door. So I had been moving around the house and doing housework and moving around, and I guess I left a little trail of it everywhere I went, but he could definitely smell it when he walked in the door. So I would say it has moderate projection and moderate staying power. And it is definitely a unisex fragrance, in my opinion. And I don't really like gendering of fragrances so much because it's all about, what genres of fragrance do you like? What notes do you like? And does that particular fragrance work well with your body chemistry? I don't think it's a very constructive to gender fragrances, because there are a lot of men's fragrances I love to wear, and there are a lot of women's fragrances that men I know love to wear. So it's just, to me, this one definitely falls in line with a unisex though. So men and women, this is a possibility. It's a hard to find fragrance. I found out about it on a fragrance blog, and there were two fragrances. Juicy Couture released two fragrances, excuse me, at the same time. And they released the Majestic Woods and a companion fragrance called Royal Rose. And at first I thought Majestic Woods was a men's fragrance and Royal Rose was a women's fragrance, but it turns out that they were both being released as women's fragrances. And curiouser, so I had to look more into it and start reading reviews and start reading other articles about them. And to the best of my knowledge, they're not available in any brick and mortar stores in the United States, at least. And they're only available from a few online retailers. I know you can get them at Sephora.com and a few others. I had to really look. When I decided that, based on the description, the few reviews I read, and the list of notes, that it was something that I think I would love, I had to really go hunting for it. And I bought it as a blind buy. A really extravagant, roll of the dice kind of a blind buy. But it ended up working out really well for me because I absolutely love it. So I'm glad I got it. But I don't know if these are going to ever get a wider release in the brick and mortar stores, or I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't know if they were just a very limited edition release or what. I hope they bring them into a wider release and into the stores, because this at least is a great fragrance, and I've heard good things about the Royal Rose too. So I would love to sample it. I don't, based on the notes and the description, I wouldn't be willing to buy it as a blind buy, but I definitely would like to sample it. So it's something I'm very, very intrigued with. So that's something for me to think about. Now, something that really struck me, it looks like a Juicy Couture product, right? It's the typical square bottle with the crystal glass stopper for the cap. It's got an embellishment on the bottleneck and an embellishment here on the bottle, and it's a metallic bottle, like a mercury glass type bottle. And it's a little bit more understated than a lot of the Juicy Couture packaging, but it's not completely out of line. I look at it and I would be like, oh, okay, that's a Juicy Couture. It looks like it might be a men's cologne, but it's marketed to women. Now, as far as the fragrance itself, I think is a huge departure from the usual brand identity for Juicy Couture. Normally, when I think of a Juicy Couture fragrance, I think of something with fruit, with flowers, with sweet gourmand notes. Some of the other ones, like a light and a freshness, like the rosé. The Viva La Juicy Rosé has a lot of a freshness to it, but it's still the fruity floral. And I do not think of an oriental fragrance when I think of Juicy Couture. Not at all. And definitely not this type of a woody oriental, possibly one that was extremely heavily in the gourmand realm. But given that the praline note in this is not the dominating note, it just doesn't seem like a Juicy Couture fragrance. And on one hand, I like it because this is exactly something I love in a fragrance. On the other hand, it's kind of like, I wonder if this was just a one-of wild card thing, or if they're going to maybe start, coming out with more diverse fragrances that branch out a little more from the fruit, floral, gourmand, and freshness from those, that genre of fragrances into other genres of fragrances. So I'm happy to have it. So that's about that. When I ordered this, I ordered another Juicy Couture fragrance, which should be coming tomorrow. And it's a complete 180 from this one. So I'm going to be interested to sample it, and I'm also going to do a review on it. I will say this one is not, in my opinion, suited for summer. I bought it because I had a case of the Gimmies, and it was an impulse blind buy. And I'm definitely looking forward to wearing it when it gets cooler. But this is not a hot weather scent. This is a fall and winter fragrance, preferably in the evening when it's nice and crisp outdoors. So I don't think I'm really going to be wearing this out of the house until the first nice crisp night in October. But it is a good one. You know, where we're at now, where I live, it's like 90 degrees and humid, so there's no way I can wear something like this out without making myself just feel awful. It would just make me sick. So I'm glad I have it. I'm really, really enjoying wearing it around the house, but it's going to have to get packed away into the collection and then rotated in when it's time for me to bust out the fall and winter fragrance wardrobe. So hope you guys like the review. If anybody else has tried this one, let me know what you think. If any of you have tried the Royal Rose, let me know what you think, what your impressions of it are. If anyone has seen this in a store, let me know, because when I found out about it and decided I wanted it, I had to really hunt for it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but I don't know. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be back tomorrow or Thursday with the video on the other Juicy Couture fragrance that I ordered. And I've got some more fragrances I want to go ahead and do reviews and kind of like a little haul for the past month of some other fragrances I've added to my collection, some vintages, and then also some small bottles, some scent birds, and so on and so forth. So that's it for now, and I will see you guys soon with more perfumey goodness. Bye.